Hey, this is Kevin from Good Old Boys Fantasy Football Podcast. If you want more information like you're about ready to see, go ahead and hit like and subscribe to support this independent podcast.
Javonte Williams ended up finished RB 84, 47 rush attempts, 204 yards, 0 touchdowns, 16 receptions, 22 targets on 76 yards, 0 TDs. Thoughts on Javonte Williams?
He's one of those guys that you need to be paying attention to the injury updates that keep coming out. I think that there's a better than likely shot that he starts the season on the PUP list. And because of that, his season totals are going to be skewed. Now, we're seeing his draft stock fall, right? Like we are seeing that being reflected. But it is something just to be mindful of. And when he does come back, I don't know, much like Derek was saying earlier with Breece Hall, because of the type of injury, it's really unfortunate because Javonte Williams was one of those guys. He was fighting on every tackle. He was always falling forward. He was uber aggressive. And then, freak injury happened and really, really tore up his knee, guys. It's a lot worse than I think what everyone originally anticipated. So it's going to take some more time for him to come back. That being said, you're going to end up having to draft him as kind of your third running back and then hope that he recovers. But if you're willing to take that gamble on him as your third running back, you do have to surround him with some other pieces in that room for depth, because there's no guarantee that you're going to love what you see when he comes back, which is really unfortunate because I really like the player. But when everything's all said and done with, I mean, if we have to call out a number, I'd tell you RB 45, but that's because I think he's going to miss about half the season.
Yeah, I think you're probably about spot on. He's coming off the board kind of at running back 35 right now, and that kind of puts him, like you were talking about, you'd have to draft him as your third running back on your roster. I don't know that I want to spend a draft capital in that range to do that. You've got some other kind of running backs in that range. Tyler Algier, Damian Harris, Elijah Mitchell, Alexander Madison, Donta Foreman. Yeah, kind of all of those guys. I wouldn't necessarily mind taking the shot on any one of those guys over Javonte Williams this season. Samaje Perine is a guy that I think is really kind of the sneaky play here in a lot of running back type of rooms. And we'll talk about him in a minute, but he's going about 9 spots after, at least as far as running back goes, is going about 9 running backs later than what you are seeing Javonte go. And so I'd rather take my shot on a different Denver running back than Javonte Williams. Again, right there with you. Love the talent, love the way that love the way that he plays and how he shows up on the field week in, week out. But this is one that this year I am going to be out on the Javonte Williams